He who don't squat deep, don't know squat. Skinny boy who riff barbell but no eat, follow path to nowhere. He who eat Chipotle before deadlifts, finish workout with stinky shorts. I've got some food for thought for you guys, and hopefully you can catch my drift. So before I start, I want to say that I made this YouTube channel to teach you guys how to safely and efficiently get stronger through barbell training. I've got almost 200 videos full of tips, cues, and instruction on proper technique. So needless to say, I think that form and technique are extremely important. However, I have recently noticed that some of you guys are focusing a bit too much on technique. You're letting it consume you. These people are quick to blame their lack of progress or their breakdown in form on technique flaws. Technique could very well be the problem, but allow me to play the devil's advocate for a minute. When these individuals who are focusing way too much on technique and really overthinking things struggle, or they feel that their training sessions are harder than they should be, they're quick to search for tips and techniques that will help them lift more weight. Now, I want you to realize that doing something to maximize the amount of weight you can lift and getting stronger are not always the same thing. This misconception could be caused by the growth of powerlifting. We see it all over YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. He or she can 1 rep max this and only weighs this much. I can only 1 rep max this and I weigh this much. And this stirs up a competitive desire to want to lift more weight. So we search YouTube videos and watch some of the strongest men and women in the world, and we listen to tips, cues, and techniques on how they perform their lifts, not realizing that what someone does to lift 900 pounds is not necessarily appropriate for a novice lifter. These lifters who tend to overthink their technique and their form adjust, tweak, and modify their form just so they can lift 10 to 20 pounds more instantly, and it actually might work. But when you go overboard with these modifications, you are no longer benefiting from the movement's intended purpose. You are not putting yourself in a position to get stronger. You're putting yourself in a position to lift more weight. Now, this works for powerlifting because the goal of competitive powerlifting is to lift as much weight as possible. But the goal of strength training is to get stronger. In an attempt to just lift more weight so I can get a good Instagram video and post it and show everyone how much I can 1 rep max, these people have altered their lifts so much that the squat no longer trains their legs, the deadlift no longer trains their lower back and hamstrings, and the bench press no longer trains their pecs, their shoulders, and their arms. I understand why this is. In order to lift maximum weight, one might change their setup in order to shorten the range of motion as much as possible. This makes sense. But in order to get stronger, you should lift weight using maximum range of motion. Now, within reason, you don't need to compromise your safety by reaching complete lumbar flexion, trying to touch your butthole to the ground when you're squatting, or touching your elbows to the ground when you're benching. The reason I'm saying you should lift with maximum range of motion is because maximum range of motion utilizes the most amount of muscle mass, which is what you want if you want to get stronger. That's one reason why barbell movements are superior to machines. They utilize more muscle mass during the movement, making the movement much more productive. Trying to make things easier to lift is not always a good thing. Now, I'm not saying that ass to grass squats are the only way to squat, arch benches are cheating, or sumo deadlifting is wrong. I'm just saying, don't go overboard with trying to modify your technique just so you can make 225 pounds feel easier. You want to know what makes 225 pounds feel easier? Getting stronger. I've met a number of people that I've actually worked with who said, whenever I get to 225 pounds or whatever the weight is, my form's... It's the form police coming. They say, whenever I get to 225 pounds or more, my form starts to break down. And in fact, just the other day, I got pinned at the bottom of the squat on my last rep. What's wrong with my technique? And oftentimes, there's nothing wrong with their technique. They just need to get stronger. You know what'll make 225 pounds feel more manageable? Getting stronger. Now, wrapping up this food for thought, if you're a competitive powerlifter, train the movements the way they were intended so you can actually get stronger and you can actually reap the full benefit of the movement. Once your meet comes closer, you can adjust your technique and your setup to mimic your competition style. And you can treat the bench, squat, and deadlift as a skill. But if you're a guy or gal who just wants to get stronger, stop constantly reaching for the secret that's gonna unlock your infinite strength potential and start focusing on getting stronger through consistent training, sleep, eating, recovery, and programming. Getting stronger is not as easy as a quick fix in technique, but it's much more valuable. That's it. Thanks for watching, and always remember, tread on time.